Hello, and welcome to Movie Mandates. I'm Kelly,
And I'm Andrew.
and this is the show where brother and I force each other to watch movies based on a particular monthly theme. And it is March, and this month it is TV movies. On our previous episode, we watched Brother's Pick, which was Brian's Song, the movie that made our father cry. And now we are concluding the month with my pick, Steven Spielberg's first, I really don't know. I didn't do my research. But Steven Spielberg's movie Duel. But before all of that, we have business. Lots and lots of business to take care of. And one of the first businesses is my brother's birthday.
How long have I had this? Like 2 weeks or something like that?
You've had that a couple weeks. I've had
Yeah.
it for months.
Yeah, and let's see. Oh, my birthday's Sunday? Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're recording this on a Thursday, so.
Yes, there you go. So I don't even know if you know what this is
What,
when you look at
uh,
it. I mean, you'll know what it is when you look at it, but you'll know what I mean when I say that when you see it. So, and then we'll have the discussion.
there we go.
There we go.
Jujutsu Kaisen. I know this is I know there's an anime. I've seen it floating around the streaming services. Haven't watched it,
Okay.
so don't
So,
know what to expect. Don't even know what it's about. Is
so
it?
I went into
Not really sure.
I went into our local comic book store.
Hmm.
Yes, we have one. It's and I went in there and I told them your preferences, kind of. And I was like, he's watched this, and we've like, this is kind of brother, and this is what he likes.
He likes Yu
And
Yu Hakusho and he thinks Dragon Ball Z is shit.
yeah, and they said, and
Oh,
I
okay.
said, what would be something that he might find interesting? And this is what I was brought to, and I said, let's do it then. So this came recommended from them based on like I was pointing at things in the store. I was like, he's read this, he's read nope, yes, no. So and so this came and I read the thing on the back and I was like, all right, cool, let's
Oh
do
no,
this.
the high school occult research club gets their grubby little mitts on a sealed cursed object. So what do? They break the seal.
Exactly, they
Bad
unseal it.
idea. Thank goodness Yuji Itadori is while looking like your average teenager, he has immense physical strength, so maybe he can punch the shit out of whatever comes out of this cursed item. All right,
So yeah,
cool.
I thought give it a whirl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah, now, even again, before we get to talking about Duel, second
That was
order of
before
business.
before Duel. Now we're up to before Duel.
That's right. That was the
Like
amuse
Christmas
bouche
Eve, and before
before.
that is Christmas Eve Eve.
There you go. Now, brother gets to challenge me in our little segment called Trivial Trivia.
All right. Instead of being made in the 70s, Duel is being made today,
Oh
and
boy.
you are the producer. Give
Ah.
the director five terrible studio notes that will actually make the movie worse.
Oh, geez. Five terrible studio notes that will make the movie worse. Um,
I'll tell you what prompted this. Um, I was watching the film ended. We are at the very end of the film, and I remembered that I remembered this. It wasn't a surprise to me, but I was thinking, you know what? It's kind of surprising that the truck goes over the cliff and doesn't
it
explode,
doesn't blow up
right?
because it
And I'm
says
th
flammable all over it
Right,
the
because the
whole
damn thing
time.
it says flammable on it the entire movie. It goes
Yes.
over a cliff and it just kind of like slowly dies, like it's dripping like brake fluid, like blood. Its tire slowly spins to a stop, like a rabid animal that's finally gasping its last. And I was thinking, I mean, this is a made-for-TV movie made by the no-name Spielberg at the time, but I was thinking, you know what? I could totally see some producer going like, Steven, it's got to explode, man. It's got, and I was trying to think, I'm like, Was there someone pushing him to make it explode? Although it was probably they made it for $1 million and they're like, whatever, shoot it in the desert. I don't give a shit.
So I want
You've
to I
got
want to
one truck. Do whatever you want with it.
I want to let you know that we actually had this conversation because he watched half of it with me. Um, and then at the school bus scene left to go do whatever. He's like, I think I figured out how this might end. I was like, okay, fine. But I did let him know how it ended. And I actively, that was one of the things I said. I said, and it falls over the cliff and it doesn't blow up. This truck that says flammable the whole time doesn't blow up. And
His car catches fire, but
which probably is accurate, but
really, yeah,
very
yeah. Cars
unsatisfying.
rarely explode unless they're Teslas.
But but it's very unsatisfying. However, to make this movie better, um, at one of the and because we're doing it today, right?
Mhm.
So he does pull into a gas station, I think more than once. So
Yes.
one of the gas stations is going to have to be having like a bikini car wash. There is not enough hot bodies in this movie. Just saying that. So hot body needs to be in this movie. Absolutely. Not there.
Okay.
Um, we also we need to pay the bills.
Hmm.
There's not enough product placement in this movie. So I definitely think that he needs to be drinking some sort of a fizzy beverage that we can constantly see he needs to have a habit of this beverage or something so that we can always see the label
Right,
of,
because
you
he's at
know, or
the go ahead.
I said, or maybe he's like, since he's so nervous, maybe he's a gum chewer or something. But like, there's got to be a big product placement of
Right.
some sort that he's constantly like getting into his wallet and like, putting in his blackjack gum and like, zoom in on it, product placement. Because, bills, we have them.
Right.
So product placement, very, very important. So hard bodies and product placement. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, there's a couple places you could slip that in, like when he goes to the that restaurant built out of the white rocks.
Yes.
Um, he could have, instead of ordering a glass of water, he could have had a refreshing Coke, which was always pointed right at the camera. Or,
Right, right.
he's told twice at each of his gas station stops that he needs a new radiator hose. They could have said
Yes.
specifically a brand of radiator
Right. Yes.
thing. Or, when the truck driver is, checking his tires, they, could have said Goodyear right on him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Exactly. Yeah.
I
So
agree. Not enough hot bodies and not enough product placement.
and
Okay.
not enough product placement. Absolutely. Um, I also think that we need to have some, we need to have more conflict. I mean, I know that their conflict is, you know, takes us through the movie, but like there needs to be some like, you know, gallivanting kids, also in like a convertible that are just gonna like every now and then get in the way. Like there needs to be like that secondary, like, oh, ha, 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 or something. There's got to be some sort of other cars every now and then on the road. Like, only once or twice do we see another car that, um, like when he says go around for that first time and there's another car coming. Like, there needs to be some sort of a second antagonist that doesn't mean to be an antagonist, kind of like
So,
the
so,
bus
so
driver.
like a mid boss working our way
Yeah.
up to the final boss that boosts his confidence so that he can tackle the final boss. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, we also don't have any sort of a celebrity cameo of any sort, and we got to shoehorn that in there, my friend. Like, maybe the waitress at the or the reptile woman could have been like Reba McEntire. That would have been great. I don't know why she's not in there.
Of
Maybe
course, it's
because it
the
was
70s, so
71.
if there are
I
any
know, I know,
cameos,
I
we're
know.
not
But
going to
like,
know.
if we're doing it now, it should be Reba. Um, but so
Like
we
I
need to.
looked at the name of the dude who was the guy he was listening to on the radio show. I don't
Oh,
know if that's actually a person. I mean, it obviously the actor was a person, but I don't know if it was like a known person. Like,
right. Do you remember? Let's
I don't
try that in
remember the
English.
name.
I was gonna say, do you remember the name?
I have the IMDb page open. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's yeah, it's not on the top cast, so I don't know.
That's
But I
fine.
mean, it's yeah,
But yeah, so we need a
wasn't
celebrity.
Wolfman Jack.
There you go. So we
Would have
need a
been
celebrity.
a decade or so earlier, but
Yeah, so we need a celebrity cameo.
mhm.
And yeah, I honestly, now that I think about it a little bit more, it should be the reptile person or that scene. So the
You
first gas
need to
station,
definitely. What's that person?
yes, we need that. So the first gas station can be the hard body gas station, and the second gas station can be the, oh, look, that's exciting. Because it's also like later in the movie when we've kind of settled in, and now we can be like, yay.
What's the lady's name who plays the witch in Wicked?
Cynthia Erivo?
There you
Ariana
go.
Grande?
Yep. Either of them. Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking of the Wicked Witch.
Cynthia
Uh,
Erivo.
there,
Yeah.
there you go. The name I can. I look at. I'm like, okay, that's her name, and then fall down. I can never keep her name in my head. Anyway, her. There you go.
Yep. Yep. And then finally, and this is very important, we need a theme song. Like we need our own song. Like while he's driving, there's enough
Title
uh
song.
yeah, like there's enough time of just watching like them, doing their thing. We need like some Aerosmith badassery song going on of like, and he's getting closer, and I'm gonna drive you off the cliff or something. I'm not a lyricist. They are. That's what they're hired
Living on the
for.
edge.
Yes, living on the edge. There you go. So, title song, celebrity cameo,
Yeah, we
secondary
need it. We need a few
antagonist,
things.
hot
We
bodies.
need to be able to sell a soundtrack album
Yes,
after the movie hits.
yes, yes. See, I should be a producer.
There you go.
I've just solved it. I've solved it all.
Yep, that definitely makes the movie better.
Definitely makes the movie better.
Two of the ideas I had,
Yes,
two of
go.
my bad studio notes were another thing I was kind of thinking about while I was watching the movie is I was kind of surprised there was no cold open of
Mm.
some other hapless motorist being driven off of a cliff or into the path of a train or something by the some guy, drive, 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 oh God, and then, meets his fate and the truck honks its horn and drives past and it fades to black. Duel. And then bring it back up to Dennis Weaver. Do, 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 through
That would
LA.
be really interesting too if it was like on the radio as well. Like in like that I really think that that's very interesting, but I think that there's
Oh,
also
kind of a
like
subtle,
a subtle like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
been,
The
10 days
crash of
since
this
the
person.
last, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like, off the I-5 or whatever, because this is placed in
Keep safe
California.
out there because the legend of the phantom truck that kills people once a year on the I-10 or
Yeah, or like, this, we've
uh,
seen in the last
it's the
2 weeks,
14. I think it's the 14 that he's on.
yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
Yeah, we'll get to that when we start talking about the actual movie. But
yeah.
the other thing I had was just a really silly one. It's like producer guy. It's like, could Dennis Weaver have a passenger in the car? Someone to talk to.
A
Could
baby
be
in the
like
back
a
seat.
hot-bodied lady there. Maybe a hitchhiker with big boobs, and showing some leg, and he picks her up, and they go on an adventure together and fall in love. Oh, Mr. Spielberg, you don't like that? That's a bit too that a little too pandering. Okay, all right. Picture this. It's not a cleavage barren woman. It's a monkey. Dennis Weaver is driving, trying to evade a truck, and he's got a monkey.
No, you
Can
know what
we have
this
a
movie
monkey in the car?
this movie was missing like a shepherd and a sh pack of sheep to get like
I
that's
mean,
what we
there's essentially a obstacle course of tumbleweed. It is kind of surprising that there isn't like some guy crossing the street with a bunch of sheep or cows or something like that, a cattle
as
crossing
he
or something.
was driving, I'm like, I'm sitting in my home, not driving, and I'm like, Is he just gonna run right into those tumbleweeds and not like try to like I'm like, nope, he's gonna go run right over those tumbleweeds. I'm like, I see them. How does he not see them?
Okay, official separation part. Trivial trivia over.
Yes, yes.
Talking about movie now. Okay.
You saw this movie when? I mean, not last night. I meant when you first
Oh,
saw this movie, because neither of
I
us were born in the 70s. So,
I was probably a teenager,
okay,
maybe early 20s. It's been a long time since I've seen this.
okay, interesting. I will say,
This probably came back to TV after Jaws hit.
okay, that makes sense. That does track. Um, the the one thing that I've always heard about this movie
Mhm.
from you, but also I think just I Grossmuther probably talked about it, but like whomever, um, is that the for lack of better verbiage, the truck is cast very well. And
Yes.
I will agree in an emphatic, like, yes, it's insane how truly menacing that truck is.
Hmm.
It's quite interesting that a, I've always found, I've always found it very, um, amazing how an inanimate object can be projected on like he's not anthropomorphized at all, but like uh, somehow like an like somehow like something is projected onto him to it, not him, to be a
Hmm.
figure of menacing, or like even in like I think back to Vader when he looks to the Emperor and then he looks to Luke and then he's looking at the Emperor and like you can, it's the same mask, but like
Yeah, it's a
you
mask. It's not emoting, it's not
it's
moving,
not
but the
emoting.
body language, you can read what you're supposed to get to out of a
Right.
blank
And
feature, not featureless, but static mask. Yeah,
And
I
you
get
can
what you're saying.
read it on the truck. And I know that it's from the directing and from the
The
angle
camera
and
angle,
like,
yeah.
and that's what it's from. It's from the lighting and from the angle and from like the push in and the pull out and all of that. But like, it's truly something that you look at and you go, ah, this Spielberg character. He, there's something to him, that he could see in a truck,
Hmm.
something that
A lot
is
of
at
really clever stuff, just from a cinematography standpoint, and maybe this was all DP, but I imagine Spielberg had some say in it. I
Yeah.
really liked the angle of Dennis Weaver using the phone in that combo a gas station laundromat, where the
And he
woman
puts his
squeezes past him, and then
foot up.
it's shot like down a hallway with him framed in the door. But then this lady's in the foreground doing her laundry, and the camera just shoots through the window of the
Yes,
washer
yes.
door. I'm like, that's fun. I like
There's
that.
some there's some interesting uh so yeah, so I found that to be very cool. The thing about this movie that is interesting watching it as a full movie without a break is that I could see this movie working better as a TV movie only in that it is a very it's a short story.
Hmm.
It's there's not a lot that happen. It's very repetitive. And this is, I mean, I don't want to, go like super negative because I'm not, but like it is. It's a very repetitive, not a lot of, not like, a lot of those chase scenes are very long and you're like, okay, I get it. Dude, I get it. And so I think like every now and then I think to myself, yeah, this could probably use a commercial because then that commercial may have heightened the suspense or at least stopped it so that when it started again, it didn't feel like it was, oh, we're still just on that same road. It was like, so it's one of those
California
that,
desert sucks.
oh my, I will say though, you and I have a very, I wouldn't say a very unique because we're not that unique, but like we do have a very keen understanding of that stretch of road
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how
That was
there
one of
is
the fun things. I'm the
nowhere to
reason.
go.
Yeah, the
There's
reason.
nowhere to go.
Oh yeah, the reason I am certain I was a teenager or maybe early 20s when I saw this is because I got a kick out of recognizing literal locations, particularly very early in the
The
film
fact that
when he
some
was
of it
still
is
in
still
LA.
recognizable blows my
Yeah,
mind.
I think for you and I the most recognizable thing is the aqueduct up on the
Yes.
mountain range that when you come out of the San Fernando Valley
Mm-hmm.
and go up into
Mm-hmm.
Santa Clarita. I was like, ha ha ha! We've driven past that so many
So
times.
many times. I was like, I know where he is.
Yeah. Now,
I
granted,
know
he
where
gets off
this
the five
is.
and gets on the 14.
That's why I said the five because I was like, I thought I was on the
Yeah,
five,
he's on
but
the
he
five
starts with the
heading
five.
north,
Yeah.
and then he passes the aqueducts, which are
Yeah.
on the mountain, which are just north of the San Fernando Valley, and heads up into Santa
And then he
Clarita,
goes
where
on the
Dad used to
14.
live.
Yeah.
And if you continue up the five, you go into Santa Clarita, but he turns
He goes with
northeast
14.
on 14,
Yeah.
which heads up to not
Palmdale. Palmdale
Palmdale,
and
and then it
Acton.
gets
Yeah.
up into Barstow and
Yeah.
Primm, and then up towards you can
Yeah.
get up to Vegas that way. Uh, Now I don't take that stretch of road because if I'm going up there, I'm going to take the 15, so I go around the other side of that mountain, but. I
Oh,
recognized a lot of the
yeah.
landmarks.
Oh, yeah. Because I used to sometimes take that way when to get
Yeah,
to you. Yeah. I used to take the 15
yeah,
sometimes
but
to get
I've
to you
been
guys.
up
Yeah.
in Hesperia, Victorville, and th those areas, and it's yeah, it's watching him drive around on these. I'm like, yep, that's where I live, man. That's what
Yeah.
if you go up.
It's,
Remember when I took you up to Julian?
yep.
Uh, where what was it? That potato chip rock or whatever it is?
Yeah. The one
What did
that
you
the
guys
really
say?
fit. Yeah. I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
called
yeah.
Potato Chip Rock, or maybe that's what we called it.
Wasn't there like a butt rock too?
Yes.
That was
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That was up. That wasn't quite as far as Julian, but it was up towards that way. And a lot of the areas up there,
That was the one where I
that's
had to pee
south.
so
That's south
bad.
of that mountain range, but it's still a very similar looking area. So, but yeah, what you were saying is like, why don't you just turn off? And it's like, it's like 120 miles or something of just two-lane highway that
Yeah.
weaves through the mountains. There's nowhere to go. Occasionally, there are like population 12
Yeah.
towns that are just like a gas station and an eatery or something. Um,
Right. Well, and it's
yeah, there's nowhere to go.
it's probably built up since then, but like back
Oh,
then,
in the
well,
last
and the
50
thing
years, yeah.
is have you like for those who have ever driven long distances and you see those signs when you get back on the highway after you've like filled up and it says no services for like 60
Next
miles or
30 miles or
whatever,
something. Yeah.
that is where this man is. Like
Mhm.
this is one of those no services, no outlet for
Yeah,
whatever.
also
Like
one of those things where, cell phones weren't a thing yet.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it was another funny thing that I had to look up towards the end of the movie when he gets into the final conflict. He's serious because he puts on the seatbelt. And I thought 1970, 71 was wearing seatbelts a law yet? I looked it up.
And
The late 1960s is when a federal law came into effect that required cars to actually have seatbelts.
ooh.
But do you know when the states started legislating that at least the driver or the front seat peoples have to wear seatbelts?
I think it was in the 80s. I think we were
Mid
born.
80s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Was
was
it
like I think it
like
was like I
86?
think New York was like 1984, and then everything started rolling out in the next few years. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was in our
Yeah.
childhood when they
I would
started,
say
okay, you
I'm
actually have to wear a
positive that
seatbelt.
we were alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Because I vaguely remember people being really annoyed by it. It's like, I'm not gonna wear a
yeah,
goddamn seatbelt if I don't want to, kind of a thing.
and that's why I'm like, it had to have been. Well, I also
Yeah.
remember like this is off topic, but it always tickles me all of the like child safety now of like child seats face the rear until this time and then you can turn the child seat around to face the front and then they have to be in a booster seat until they are this heavy and da 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 and kids can't be up front until they are this tall and stuff and I'm like I'm pretty sure I was up front at like 3 years old sitting on laps whatever like it's just like it's like we lived and it's crazy but like we did it it's just,
Oh,
oh
I
funny.
missed it. The guy, the interviewer prank guy that Dennis Weaver's listening to, his name is Dick Whittington, and he was actually let me see, is he dead? I don't see a death thing. He might still be alive.
Okay.
So that's nice. He was a LA disc jockey in the 70s and 80s, known on the air as Sweet Dick Whittington. So that was some stunt cameo casting. Some people in 1971 would have actually recognized that was a if they're LA people, they would have said,
Not good enough. We need John Cena type.
there you go.
We need clout.
You need someone who's instantly, like Patrick Warburton. There you go. That's a
There,
voice everyone's going to instantly
that's what we
recognize.
need. There we need. We need John Benjamin or whatever his name is.
Uh,
Um,
the Bob's Burgers guy.
yeah,
That very distinctive voice, yeah.
very distinctive voice.
Oh, also
Um,
Archer, right? Yeah.
and he's also he has a voice in is it this Family Guy? He has someone in Family Guy too, I think. Yeah, I forget the guy's
That's all
name.
right. I don't watch the show, wouldn't know the character.
Doesn't matter. Um, so yeah, because I think that and I know it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter. Like I can't stress enough that I know it doesn't matter. But I really do wish that there was some piece more of epilogue, not I'm sorry, not prologue. Um
Andy sits out there in the desert and dies of exposure. The end.
yeah, no, epilogue fine. That I don't need more of that. I meant sorry, prologue. In that
Oh,
because when he um when he passes him, you know, the
the
first
first
time.
time? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, well the time that apparently gets his knickers in a twist. Um first off, our protagonist is kind of a dip. However, there's zero way for the truck driver to know the personality of our protagonist. So therefore, his being kind of like a dip has no bearing on the truck driver's attitude towards him.
So the truck driver, so you're imagining the truck driver going, "Ooh, my masculinity themed sense is tingling.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to engage
I'm
with
a
this guy
I'm gonna
because
have
there's
yeah.
a theme of masculinity thing going on here."
So because like what you said, so either like again, I agree. Don't want to know too much about the truck driver.
Hmm.
I think that's what makes it menacing. Agreed. You never see him except for, his arm.
I
You
do
don't,
appreciate the short glimpses Spielberg is in a
yeah,
way personifying the truck itself. When you think
yes,
of the movie, you're going to think of the Dennis Weaver
yeah,
versus the truck, not the
truck.
guy in the truck. Even though,
Correct.
yeah, you see that it is a guy driving a truck, and I appreciate that because
Yes,
it makes it completely unambiguous.
correct.
This is not a supernatural truck. It's not a ghost truck. It's not a monster truck. That would be a different
Right.
movie. There's another studio. Does it have to be an 18-wheeler? What if it was like Bigfoot or Gravedigger, one of the monster trucks?
Yeah. I
You
mean, it
know?
already is very supernatural in that
Mhm.
that truck can haul ass.
Yeah, it's
Like,
something Dennis Weaver
and
mentioned.
he
He's
even
like,
says, he's like,
yeah, how
how
the
are you
hell is he
keeping up
so
with
good
me?
on hills?
Because
Yeah.
he even says, you can't keep up with me on the grade. And then he's like, watch me.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, ooh.
But I do appreciate the fact that it's like, no, it's not supernatural. It's not a monster. It's
Right.
literally just a guy in a really powerful truck.
Right. But there, and as much as, and I agree, I think that that is very psychologically tormenting. And I think it's very, like, interesting. And it is, again, like, that is not an antagonist that we're normally used to. You know, we're used to knowing a lot more about the person. And
Mhm.
even if it was a truck, you're right. Normally they'd zoom into the actual, zoom through the windshield to get to the angry guy behind the wheel, or, you know, Morton Joe or whatever the hell. But like,
Morton Joe.
but,
We need the
but
Duke
like,
Warrior on top.
but like, I think it would be interesting to know, has this guy done this before? Like, is this like, was he, because like, it is the thing that I find very interesting about this
Let me
movie.
answer the
Okay.
question with something that I'm probably just reading into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know the different state license plates the truck has on its grill? That
Ah,
is kind of like a trophy rack.
oh,
He's
interesting.
taking the license plates of his victims and putting them on his truck. It may that I may just be reading that into it, but that to me felt like a trophy kind of a thing.
Okay, I
I don't
like
know if
that.
that was the intention or if that's the proper reading, but that's kind of what I got out of it. So my read was, yeah, this is
Ah,
just something this guy does.
so he's just a
Just an
mass
asshole.
murderer who
Yeah.
they haven't caught yet. Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay. See, now I like that because there is the one I really, really like that read. And the reason why I like that read is because it does remind me, the one thing this movie does remind me of is something that you and I have always had a problem with. And that is the problem of the bully, in that, like, when we were watching, I think it was it when we had this conversation, or the most recent time that we've had this conversation, because we've had it a few times,
Hmm.
in that when you watch movies that have child bullies, childhood bullies, and they'll take out a freaking knife or like a brick, and as the audience, you're like, they are going to kill this like, act like they truly, like, if
Yeah.
it weren't for XYZ, the teacher coming out, if it weren't for the child somehow getting away, they were are are you seriously, were you prepared to
To
actually
murder this
kill
person? You
this
you 12-year-old
child?
bully or
Like,
something?
and
Yeah.
it blows my mind because, like, I watch these and it seems so unbelievable to me. And then, you hear, oh, that, they're trying to just heighten the suspense. And I'm like, no, like, take away the heightened suspense. That person has to, like, actually be like,
Yeah, I
they
think
were actively. And so this movie kind of made me feel that a little bit, because at
I think it was
first you're
Stand
like,
By Me is the last one we were
that's the one that we were talking about.
talking
Yes, yes,
about.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. Thank you. But like, because this movie kind of had a little bit of reminiscence of that as I was watching it, in that, you know, because at first you're kind of like, dude, what an asshole, because he's,
Yeah. And that's like, oh shit, this guy's trying to kill him.
and then you're like, because he's kind of a menace.
I don't really it comes across, I don't think he's like really like because he could have easily pushed him into the train with that truck. I think he's just terrorizing the guy, and if he dies and spins out and runs off the road, he's totally fine with it.
In
So I think
Right.
yeah, he's terrorizing the guy. I don't think
But
I
then
think
when
it's
he's
understood that this person's going to crash and die eventually, but and I don't really
And
care.
I think he's playing with his food. I think that
Yeah,
that's like,
yeah,
he's a cat playing with the mouse.
yeah.
And I think the thing is that it's when the reptile lady comes and he does those circles, and me being a reptile lover, I was devastated.
That was the true victims of the movie.
Yes, when she
where
picks up that snake,
the
I was
snake, the
like,
tarantula, and the iguana.
"You
Yeah,
bastard!"
those were the true victims of
Oh
that
my God.
film.
She's like, "My babies." And I'm
My
like, "I
babies.
know. I'm so sorry." But uh but yeah, so yeah, that was a weird thing for me because at first, like, he did just seem very tormenty and taunty, and like, even though what he was doing was dangerous, there
Hmm.
never kind
Yeah,
of seemed to
I
be. And
think your mouse playing with its food is the proper analogy because I always get the sense when I see cats playing with their food. When I see cats playing with ground rodents or mice or whatever, um, it doesn't seem like kill it is the end goal. It's
hmm
I'm just playing with it. I'm playing it a way that is going to result in it dying, and
oh
that
yeah,
I don't care.
Olivia
You
was
know,
devastated when she accidentally killed the mouse she was
yeah,
playing with.
when it dies, I'm done playing with it. You know, killing it isn't the goal, playing with it is. That the
Yes,
way I play is going to result in death more
yes,
often than that. Maybe it'll get away. If it did, I had fun. If it dies, I had fun.
yeah,
That's kind of the vibe I'm getting off it. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I do like your take on those
The license plates.
license plate. That's a very keen observation. Um, but yeah, but yes, very, very, very interesting. I I heard you say, and so this is an interesting question. At the end, when the truck, sorry, does not explode, um, uh, you mentioned that the oil was dripping, and it
Brake fluid or oil or
Blake fr
something. Yeah, yeah.
Blake fluid, yeah, the Blake fluid, was dripping.
Blake, keep your fluids off this
Your
car.
fluids. Um,
Damn it, Blake.
and it definitely did look like blood.
Hmm.
Um, you never see a body in there.
Hmm.
So
He
and because
survived for the sequel.
well, and here's that's my question because that
Duel
is kind of
2
like, is
rematch.
that brake fluid? Is that blood? Do do you we don't see him leave the car. We don't see anyone leave the car like truck. Um, I assume he has to die, but at the same token, like it was one of those
Well, if he didn't get his ticket punched, he definitely got his bell rung.
there. Yeah, yeah. And that truck is not coming back.
No, that gonna have to write that one off. Another thing I want to mention is I'm pretty sure that they only had one truck to drive off a cliff once,
Yep, yep,
and
that
it
was
appears they had only. I think they. I don't know if they had. I have to imagine they had at least two cameras for coverage, but other than the initial coming off the cliff, I think there's two shots. The last shot is held just one following it down, and it's in slow motion. And I was watching, I was like, that camera operator was on the ball because it was an immense cloud of dirt, and
hmm
managing to keep all of the important stuff in frame at all times. I'm like, whoever
dang.
was managing that camera needs a raise because they had a job to do, and boy, howdy, they did it because, man, you missed that, and we don't have another truck. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I I did have I was so mad at
the
the
producer, I paid for six cameras. You're going to use footage from all goddamn six. Cut between them, playing one after the other if you have to.
oh man. Um I so parts that I just wanted to
Mommy never listened to me, but now I'm the producer, and you have to listen to me.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um so the school bus
Mhm.
moment, I just have to shake my head when a school bus gets stuck in the loose gravel and sees this little like sports car and is like, "Hey,
Give
you
us a
can push
push.
us out."
Like, no, I'm pretty sure I'll.
And and I'm gonna go ahead and ask all the children to make sure they're on the bus just to add that extra weight to you,
Well, I think the idea was is
just
once
to get
we
it
go, they have to
lower.
keep going. So,
Yeah.
give us a
But
push and we'll just keep going rather than turn the engine over. So,
but like I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is a terrible idea.
the
Like
other thing I noticed about that scene is, this is this a school bus? Like, are these kids being transported from school to home? Because it felt like it was supposed to be like a field trip, but I didn't see any chaperone. Was the school
chaperones are
bus driver the chaperone too or something? Or
yeah, it did seem
we didn't want to pay
very
another day player. Thank you.
basically it did se it that was daycare. That was all the crew's children. They're like, we don't know.
Probably.
Like, just
Now
take
I
your
want you
daughter
to
to
be
work day.
obnoxious. What's my motivation?
Children.
Your children.
Your
Yes.
child. Um,
Just be yourself. Your frustrating, annoying self.
yeah, yeah,
Should I pick my nose and stick out my tongue and make weird noises? Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, nailed it. Goddamn
So,
method actors.
so Dennis Weaver's internal monologue is leave something to be desired.
There are two, not mistakes, but creative decisions that I don't agree with in the movie.
Okay.
One is Dennis Weaver's internal monologue comes out of nowhere to the point where I think his first monologue is when he's in the bathroom after crashing, where he crashes and he goes into the restroom of that
Yes, I think you're right. I think
restaurant,
you're right.
and he
I think
starts
you're
his
right.
internal monologue, and I'm like, who's talking?
Yeah.
That that sounds like, oh, is that him? Did they are they trying to ADR something? And I can see his lips now. Oh, it's an internal monologue. He hasn't done that until now, so it came out of nowhere and it
Yeah.
confused me for a bit.
Yeah.
That's one. Second is, well, second and third, but they're kind of the same thing. In the last leg of the movie, he I guess he like bites his tongue or lip or cheek or something like
Yeah.
that because he
I think
bleeds.
yeah.
I could have, I really would have liked just a quick, you know, ow, fuck, kind of a thing. Because he's suddenly bleeding. I'm like, I guess he bit his tongue. Not a
I
big deal.
thought the same thing. I
Also,
was like, did
Dennis
I
Weaver
miss
bleeds
something?
raspberry jam. I don't know what the prop department was doing that day, but that's some thick coagulated blood that's pouring out his lips.
Yeah, I was wondering if I missed something because I was like, "Oh, he's bleeding now." Did I miss a did he like did he
Yeah, just
hit
something like
something?
him taking a hard bump and
Yeah.
shit, something.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Also,
I
the
agree with
blood was
that.
bad because it looked like raspberry jam or something.
He was like he's eating a donut, getting the powdered sugar off his.
Mhm. Oh,
Um,
yeah, another thing I wanted to mention because I thought it was funny, the scene where he chases after the truck on foot. Well, he actually does that like a
twice.
couple of times, but the first time I think is at the diner where he sees the truck driving away and he tries to chase after it
I
because
think so,
he's
yeah.
at that point he's like, I gotta confront this guy
Yeah.
mano a mano, and he
Yeah.
runs after it. I couldn't help but think, you know what? Dennis Weaver, or perhaps his stunt double, runs better than both James Caan and Billy D. Williams from our last movie, Brian Song, who were two football players. Remember, we were like, you know what? Neither of them run particularly well.
He
Dennis Weaver
runs
runs
really
really,
well.
or his stunt double run really well.
I noticed that. I was like, he's actually really good
Yeah,
at that.
yeah, he's got a
He
good gait going.
it was very like
Nice
reminiscent of
form.
like Robert Patrick to me. I was like,
Oh, from
yeah,
Terminator 2, sure.
yeah. I was like, look at you, very like
Just good form. Yeah,
good
yeah,
form, very
looks
good,
great.
good going. So it could perhaps be because of where we are in life. Um, and I mean that in like
Halfway.
I don't mean that in middle age. I mean that in like the zeitgeist
Oh,
and, where we are in, what is and isn't acceptable. However, I'm pretty sure that I may have balked at it anyways. Um, the the one glaring moment in the movie that I was like, that's terrible, um, is when he calls home to his wife
pretty sure I know
and
where you're going with this. Yeah.
and they have an interesting relationship anyways. And it is and this harkens back to when I was saying like it's not like he's a great guy anyways, but it's not like that as like the truck driver who is menacing him doesn't know what like a douche he kind of is,
Hmm.
because his wife's like, "Are you gonna be home in time?" And he's like, "I don't know. I'll be there when I be there." Well, your parents are coming. I know. Like dude, like he's kind of whatever. But like they're in a fight because apparently they had a party last night and he didn't defend her against someone
His boss, who apparently was getting handsy.
who was getting handsy, and she's like, "Well, he basically raped me." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what? What did we say? You I'm sorry, what?" And he goes, "Oh, what he like dismisses her." And I'm like, "In front of everyone, rape me in front of everyone," was what she said. And I'm just like, "That's a word choice. That is a word choice that I just don't think you mean. Because if that were true, and
I mean,
my
like,
husband,
what was he like grinding you on the dance floor, or was he like just being real touchy-feely? Because yeah, I'm not certain either. Um,
right, like in my head, I'm like, was he like, did he actively, like, were you guys sitting and he had his hand up your skirt and your husband was like, well, that's my boss. I better let him, you know,
did he
continue.
like take his genitals out?
But like, did he flat? Like, I'm like, and then you never hear from wife again. Like, it's just
Yeah,
established that he
it's
has somewhere to go. He's trying to get somewhere. He has like, it's just
yeah.
establishing
I
him as a
think
family man,
there's
but not as a very good family man.
right. So we have I think it's a pretty clumsy, although unsurprising for, 50 some years ago, a clumsy attempt at establishing a theme of masculinity
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
not having it.
Yeah.
Trying to be a masculine man's man who can overcome the things because I'm a man. And we
Mm-hmm.
see that in the both with the conversation with his wife where he's um, apologizing, but it doesn't work. He doesn't stand up for his wife. And it kind of comes across as the movie saying, this guy is henpecked. I feel like the movie is trying to make me feel like the wife is being, yeah, he should have stood up for her, but the wife is being really mean and making him feel emasculated, and that's even worse. I'm getting kind of that vibe from the film's message, right?
Mm.
But all in all, it's a suppression of masculinity type of thing, which is also in that same scene, the woman pushes past him and
Mm-hmm.
is doing her laundry in the foreground, taking focus away from him.
Well, it's
Um,
his all of his internal monologues. You got this. You like his. I mean, that's his
yeah,
first monologue is
he's
looking at himself in the
all
mirror and like
right.
pep talking himself
Is
up.
pep talking himself. I've
Yeah.
got it. He finally works up the nerve to confront someone in the bar, but he's really meek about it. Um, even the radio interview conversation, the whole joke is predicated on the fact that, oh, I hate my wife, but she wears the pants in the family and she makes the
Yep.
money and I just take care of the chores, so I'm less than a man. So, like,
Yeah.
I appreciate there's actually a theme here rather than cars go vroom. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, but it is pretty clumsy, and I think a part of that is because it's half a century old. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it, yeah, you know, so yeah, I think theme wise, it just kind of sucks and falls over. Um,
Yeah.
I can't say I'm unsurprised due to the movie's age, right?
Right. Right. Right.
But
Right.
it's like, hey, participation ribbon, you tried, you know?
Yeah. You had a thought, like it wasn't for,
Right. You didn't do it right or well, but you tried.
you
Like
were going
there's a
somewhere.
bunch of stuff. It is very consistent and it's
Yeah.
there, it's
Yeah.
clear, but it's just
Yeah.
not good. But
Right.
cars still go vroom, so you know.
There you go. That's all we can ask. What was the joke? I can't remember. When he first pulled up to the gas station, he's like, fill it with Ethel. And he's like, I'll see if she's available or what like that. It's just like I'm like, I bet you make that joke to everyone.
Every time.
Like, but I tickled me because I was like, I do that. You have that one joke that when someone says that one word, you're like, ha, I'm gonna say it to you. So I was just like, I'm like, oh, you gas station attendant out in the middle of nowhere. Ah, I love it. Um, yeah. Dennis, who is he? Like, what? I don't actually know his oeuvre.
You know what? I don't. Yeah, I think he was on Gunsmoke, but other than
Oh,
that,
that doesn't mean anything to me.
yeah,
Okay.
old Cowboy Shooty Shoot TV show. Other than that, if I'm correct about that, other than that, yeah, I don't know that I know Dennis Weaver from anything else either.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's fine.
probably I didn't actually look up his filmography, but
Mm-mm.
I would guess mostly a TV actor.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I will say I did when
An
he
impeccably trimmed mustache, though.
when he uh was able to go off the road and like hide himself next to the train tracks.
I don't know if they just built them different in the 70s, the cars, because my car would have been destroyed, dead, disabled 100 times over throughout the course of this short movie.
First off, yes, I actually 100% believe that they did. Uh because things are not made to last
What the
anymore.
hell are they
So
building
A.
those cars out of in the
So
70s?
I fully do believe that cars were made different, A. But I thought about that too. I'm like, because when he drove it into the fence, like that very first thing, and he drives it in the fence, and I love how everyone is just so calm about it. They're
You
like,
okay?
"You okay, dude? Everything
I
good?
was
Everything
waiting for
good?"
him, like, do one of you like own the fence and are like kind of like, where you gonna pay for that, Dennis
I was
Weaver?
I was waiting for anger from people. I was waiting for anything, but everyone was just like, "All
Oh,
right, what?"
I don't think the wait staff at a restaurant is going to give you aspirin today.
Oh, that was hilarious too. We said that when he goes, "Do you have any aspirin?" She's like, "I'll see what I can get you, honey." And like I looked at Jeremy. I
Yeah,
was
I
like, "Oh,
know.
that would never fly
Yeah.
today." That is,
Kind of like full service gas stations. That is
yeah,
so I see that in older
yeah,
movies all the time. I'm like,
yeah.
that is so weird because that's before our time. I don't think those
Mm-mm.
I mean if they exist they may have existed in like a few places.
I was
Like
gonna say, I
we're old
think
enough
there,
to have seen phone booths,
yes,
but
yes.
not full service gas stations.
I think there was like
There might have been a
one
few somewhere in the 80s, but yeah, I don't think
that were still like, yeah, novel. Um,
I can imagine it started out like someone having a bad day and fill her up on it. And it's like, pump it yourself. Jesus, okay. It's like, oh shit, he's actually doing it.
he can do it.
Hmm.
They can. You mean to tell me they
I
can
could
pump their
charge the
own
same amount
gas?
of money and work less.
You mean I can just stay behind this counter? Shit. That's amazing. Um,
My God.
I've broken the code. I've cracked the code.
I have
Um,
seen beyond the veil.
Mind blown. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, but yeah, when he first ran into that fence, in my head, I'm like,
Gonna have to get a
My
new car. He ain't going any further.
I first thing I thought, I'm like, he's there for a week now getting his car. Like in my head, this is Tu Wong Fu, and you now need to be in that town for like a whole week
That's right.
while they get you whatever you need. And then because he just drives his car out of the fence and back onto the road after his cheese sandwich with ketchup. I want to barf on rye.
On Rye, Rye. I'm like, is he just being an asshole, or has someone made that mistake before?
I don't
Like,
know another
I'm trying to
bread that
think.
even sounds like
Yeah, I'm
rye.
trying to think of what someone could have accidentally thought he said instead of rye.
But like,
He's lucky he got and he got like an entire Altoid tin full of aspirin instead of just two loose
yeah,
aspirin.
but like, he's like, but when she leaves, he's like, ah, no ketchup. And I'm like, on a Swiss cheese sandwich on rye, you want ketchup? First off,
You want anything else, or do you just want like some cheese between two slices of bread? Do you want it melted or?
I know I also was like that. I'm like, I I was very confused with his order. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
I
But
think
yes,
there
those
was some
cars,
grains on it. I think there
I
was
think
like
there were too. I think there was stuff on it, but
yeah.
it just boggled my mind. But yeah, when he backed his car into the railroad track place, and in his internal monologue of I'm going to stay here an hour, and then he falls asleep, and I'm like, first off,
Way too long.
how you could fall asleep with that much adrenaline and that much, it's so much. I'm
Oh,
like,
it's got to be 90 some degrees, if not more, in that car. I don't know what time of year it is, but out in the California desert, if you're sitting in a
mm-hmm.
car in the sun in the middle of the day, you're going to bake.
Yeah,
At best, you're looking 90 degrees in that car.
you ain't falling asleep.
You might pass out. You ain't falling asleep.
There it is. But I did laugh because when he parked, I saw that railroad crossing sign right next to him and I was like, is he parked on railroad tracks? And then when he wakes up to
Parallel
the
to it.
to the train coming right next to him. And which I did jump even though I
It's a
saw
good jump
that
scare, yeah.
orange sign. It's a great jump
Mhm.
scare and I did see the orange sign. So you kind of like know it's coming, but at the same token, I'm just like, also, did you not see the orange sign? Like, why would you park right there
I,
and then fall asleep? Like, you are so lucky you are right off the track. But like, anyways, yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting. I'm super happy that I've seen it because like now I know, and I really do enjoy. Like, it's fun. Kind of like when we were watching. I think it was what was it, Pi, and I was like watching the early work of like Darren Aronofsky and then
apparently
knowing
doing
what
an AI movie now.
oh boy and
Ugh.
like knowing where he's gone and like what
Darren.
he's doing now, and then so seeing this and like knowing where like because it is, I mean Spielberg didn't write it so it's not as if like I
No,
can,
this was a Richard Matheson one.
so oh hey,
Hmm?
interesting. I don't think I cool. um
One of those movies where all the credits are at the beginning of the film.
yes they are. um but it's interesting to watch because you can see like the way, and you're right, there's a really great amount of fantastic DP work going on. But I know that he has great relationships with his DPs, and but like you can feel the start of someone who sees things differently and can and like and it's so it was really for that reason very fun to watch. Like, and just since the last thing I just spoke about was that the train going by him, is that you 100% are expecting the moment the train leaves is for the truck to be at the other side. I'm like, that train's going to get past and the truck's going to be there. And
Mm.
it wasn't, but he sets it up going, everyone like but you know that that's what he is setting you up to want, and then he doesn't give it to you until
Like the flammable no explosion.
yeah, until he does. And it's just it's really fun to I really think it's kind of cool to go back and watch like the early movies from directors who have really, really made a statement with their work. Uh, I
Hmm.
like doing it this way better than, because now I can appreciate it, whereas maybe, you know, growing up with it, you forget where it started. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my bum, but yeah, but yeah, it's kind of boring. It's kind of repetitive. There's a lot of interesting about it. There's a lot of not interesting about it. But at the end, but like
I have to
I
wonder if it was like maybe it was like originally like 70 minutes and they're like, oh no, it's filling a 2 hour block. You need it needs to be 90. It's like, oh
and
shit. Let's add a couple more driving scenes or a
and I
couple,
think that that's
you know,
kind of what that's when I like earlier when I was saying like, some commercials probably would have like helped,
help balance it
with
out a little bit, you know.
even that out a little bit. But like yeah, like I am really happy that I've seen it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
from
it's worth it, particularly if you are a film fan, particularly if you're a fan of Spielberg's work.
yeah.
It's an interesting artifact of its time,
Yep.
and while not the best movie ever, it's a fun film and worth a watch and fun to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I would agree with you on that. So there you go. I think that that's how you know.
And
And
if
so
you've
yeah,
ever driven on the 5 north from LA and gone out into the desert, you'll feel right at home.
there you go. You'll be like, "Hey, I know this. I know this place. I've seen this before."
Because they may not have shot exactly on the 14. I have a feeling they did, but they definitely shot in that area somewhere. Because I'm like, yeah, I recognize. It's always funny when you recognize places in film.
Right. Yes. That is yes.
Like, "Ah, it's
It
it's
was
the
very fun.
aqueduct. It's still there."
I really was. I was like, this was so long ago, and there's some things that I'm like, yep, I know where that is. Yep, yep, nope, that looks exactly like that. I know that bush. No, I'm joking. Anyways, thusly ends the TV movies month. Yes, this is true. But what is not over, nay, is movie mandates. We will continue next month, the month of April. And in that month, we will talk about silent movies. I shouldn't say that because they're silent. Andrew, what silent movie are we going to talk about?
Okay. We will talk about not silently, but
I know. We'll talk more than
yeah,
they do.
the next episode is going to be entirely pantomimed. It's going to be a charades episode where we try to communicate with facial expressions and gestures. The iTunes version is probably going to suck.
It'll just be like Gladiator when we just go
Yeah.
like this, thumbs up or thumbs
So,
down.
because we are very well-rounded film buffs. This was not a difficult one, as is often the case. I had a short list that I had trouble paring down because there's a bunch of silent films that
There are
I
so many.
haven't seen and would like to. And what's lovely is a lot of these films I've been aware of through a good portion of
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
adult life, but it hasn't been until fairly recently, the last several years, where these films are somewhat widely available on services like the Criterion Collection and such.
Yes.
Um, so I had my pick and I landed on it will probably not surprise you that it's a Buster Keaton movie.
I'm so
Which
excited.
one? It's The General,
Oh,
the one with the
okay.
train.
Ah,
It was between him and a Harold Lloyd movie, and I'm like, they're both like a little over an hour long. Maybe we could do both, but yeah, But I thought The General sounds like a more interesting film as actually a story.
okay.
So we're gonna watch the Buster Keaton vehicle, because train, The General.
I'm excited. I'm actually very excited for Silent Movie Month. My short list is not very short. It's quite long. I need to pare it down. But hey, you know what? I don't have to worry about that right now because we're gonna watch The General. And if you would like to watch The General with Buster Keaton as well, check out and see where it is currently streaming or where it is available to rent so that you can watch along with us and then listen next time we talk. Okay, so until then, you can watch Movie Mandates on YouTube or listen to us in podcast form on iTunes. And if you like it and you enjoy it, then let people know with engagement. Yes, of course. So if you're watching on YouTube, do the liking and the commenting. And if you're listening on iTunes? Hopefully not. But if you're listening on iTunes, then rate and review. Thank you very much. So with that, I bid you adieu. I am Kelly, and you can follow me on Instagram at PomentoLivia with the 1 O in the middle.
And you can follow me on Blue Sky at Andrew Eisen.
And we hope that you enjoyed this episode of Movie Mandates, and we will be back soon with another mandated movie. Bye!
Bye!